I'm the Energy Conservation Coordinator for the Saskatchewan Environmental Society. And I'm here today to give you a top 10 about how to save energy in your home. One of the important things about being energy efficient is we want to be comfortable. An energy efficient home should be a comfortable home that uses less energy and so costs less to operate. Lots of times when we talk about having your home energy efficient, people say, well, I can't afford to insulate my whole home and put in new windows. If you can afford those, those are great ways to reduce the energy consumption of your house. But there's lots of other tips as well that we can do that are much more affordable. So first of all, we've all sat next to a cold window on a cold day, a drafty window. So that's something we can all fix. Whether you own your property or not, you can get some caulking and put caulking around the outside of the window. And you can put weather stripping around the parts of the window that open. Caulking is for things that don't move. Weather stripping is for things that do. And one of the things we don't always think about with those drafts in our homes is quite often a light switch or a plug-in can be quite drafty. So there's actually weather stripping that you can get that's made for all the different shapes of light switches and plug-ins. Regardless what sort of building you have, our windows can be an important way of helping heat up or keep the house from cooling down. We've all sat in the sunbeam on a cold day, and you certainly know where the dog chooses to lay in the house. If there's sun shining in the window on a cold day, let that nice warm sun come on in. However, your blinds can also work as a good insulator, and so closing them when the sun isn't shining in is a great way to keep the heat trapped in your house. At night, when we're tucked in bed under our quilts, the house doesn't need to be nearly as warm as it does during the day when we're moving around in the house. And if during the day people are away at school or at work, again, the house can be allowed to cool down through those periods. Letting the house cool down overnight and letting it cool down during the day when nobody's around are great energy savings, is a great way to save energy. Whether you manually adjust your thermostat as you come home and go to bed, etc., or whether you have a programmable thermostat that you tell your schedule and let it do the turning up and down for you, either one of those will save you a substantial amount on your gas bill. The job of our furnace is to push warm air throughout the house. If the furnace filter gets really dirty, it's very hard for the furnace to push air through that filter. The filter can no longer do its job of keeping the dust and stuff out of the furnace, and the furnace has to work really hard to move the air. I've actually seen furnace filters that have been so dirty that they've actually collapsed into the duct space, and then they're really hard to get out, as well as not doing their job at all. It's important to change your furnace filter regularly. At my house, we change it approximately once a month. Your house might be different. If you have hairy pets or cigarette smokers, you might need to change it quite often. If you are really good at keeping your house clean, you might need to change it less often. One of the things we're hearing a lot about now is LED lighting. LED lighting is quite a bit more efficient than the other types of lighting that we've been using, and it's available in a lot of different applications. You can get the type of bulb that you'd want to screw into your living room lamp or your ceiling light. You can get fancy little lights. This one's made for like a chandelier or something like that. It looks like a little candle flame. And this one would be meant to go in a pot light. So you can get LED bulbs to screw into existing fixtures, or you can get new fixtures that are made with LED lighting in them. One of the important things to remember about LED lighting is it's more efficient, but it's not somehow magical. We still need to turn off lights when we're not using them and not overlight spaces. One of the easiest ways to save energy is to turn stuff off. Turning off the lights when you leave the room, turning off the TV when you're not watching it, turning off your computer when you're not using it. All of the things that we use throughout the day, if you turn them off, they're not using energy. Some things do keep using energy, even when we have them turned off. Anything that has a clock, that's programmable, that has a light, that's instant on. Any of those things will keep using some energy even when they're turned off. That's called a phantom load. They use much less energy turned off than when they're running, but they still do use some electricity. The easiest way to stop them from using that electricity is to pull the plug when you're not using them. However, it's not always convenient. So there's a variety of ways you can deal with phantom load. Most of them involve some sort of a power bar. You can simply plug all your things into a power bar and then switch it off when you're done. You can also get other types of power bars that have a timer or can be scheduled. Saving water is also very important. And when you're saving hot water, then you're also saving the energy that it takes to heat that water. If you take a long shower, step one, consider taking a shorter shower. But you can also get shower heads that are much more efficient than the older shower heads. Older shower heads might have used as much as 16 liters for every minute you're in the shower. So a 10-minute shower would be 160 liters. You can cut that in half by having a 5-minute shower instead, but you can also reduce the water consumed by using a low-flow shower head. This particular shower head uses 6 liters per minute, as opposed to the 16 that an old one might use. We've all heard toilets running. You can hear the water running through the toilet when it's not actually flushing. That's a leak. It's not leaking out onto the floor, but it's leaking from the tank through the bowl and down the drain without really serving a purpose. That's purely straight up wasting water. Most often, when a toilet is running, what's happened is that the valve in the bottom of the tank, the rubber has gotten hard and it no longer seals nice. It's very, very simple to open the lid of your tank. Careful, you don't want to drop that lid. Take out the old flapper and replace it with a new one. You turn the water off, of course, while you're doing it so that you don't waste a whole bunch of water during the action. That's something that each of us can do, and a new flapper is maybe $10. A toilet that's running, once you can hear it running, it's probably wasting hundreds of liters of water each day. So that was 10 of the things that we can do to reduce the energy use in our home. There's way more things that you and I can be doing each and every day. If you go to our website, environmentalsociety.ca, check out the section called Stuff I Can Do, because there's another couple hundred suggestions in there of stuff I can do. Until next time, I'm Angie Bugg with the Saskatchewan Environmental Society. Remember to live sustainable lives and build a sustainable future.